Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. This is being done at the end of the episode, even though it's being played at the beginning. My name is Autumn Fisher.
And my name is Greg Russ.
Wow.
Check, 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 check. 1, 2, check.
Microphone check 1. Check game to the notorious Compton G's.
I've got, man, there's been a pile of clean laundry laying on the floor for over a week now. It's insane. I dumped it there.
Did you do it? Did you dump it there so that it would be like in the way and annoying you?
Well,
So that you would get rid of it?
some of it because it takes so long to do laundry.
Yeah.
It's like 3 or 4 loads, but we only have one washing machine in the building. So, you do a load of laundry, you put it in the dryer. You do the next load of laundry, but the washer is faster than the dryer. And so sometimes the clothes weren't completely dry. They're pretty much dry, but not completely. So you kind of lay them on the floor so they can finish drying.
Okay.
And then the idea is, then we'll put these away. But no, instead, it's just as every day goes by, it's like, all right, pick some socks out of this pile, pick a shirt out of this pile, pick some underwear.
That sucks.
I mean, sure, but it's also an easy fix.
I know, but what is that? ADD or something to like just not do it,
I don't know. If
or
it's
like
ADD.
some sort of like anxiety, something.
I don't know if it's any of that laziness.
Yeah, but it's so easy to fix, yet you just cannot bring yourself to do it. I'm saying not you. In this scenario, you, but just in general, I do this too. It's like I could just do this and it would be done. But I'm just not gonna. I don't know why.
Well, somewhere in my brain, there's this idea. No, it's such a simple task that I can do it whenever I want. It doesn't need to be right now. If I put it off for 2 hours, it'll still be an easy task. But it's also a boring task.
It is a boring task.
Also, whatever. It kind of fits in general. I do not live in a minimalist home.
Right.
Some people prefer minimalism. No, there's so much. Sometimes I just look around and I think, what the fuck? There's so much stuff.
I know.
Stuff I don't need.
Gets like that sometimes.
I just took some clothes to Goodwill, and it took 3 rounds to actually get a bag full of clothes where it should have been the first time, because I go through the clothes, I find this shirt or these pants that I have not worn in years, or I've only worn once, but it's the hoarder mentality without it being so extreme. It's like, yeah, but I would wear that. I don't know why I haven't been. It's like, no, there's a reason you haven't been, because you don't like it or it doesn't fit or whatever it may be. So, the first round, you get a few items in there, and then I wait a week, and then I go through the clothes again, and then you get a few more items in there. And then after the third round, it's like, all right, this bag is full and I can take it over. But there's like shirts that other people bought me, like my sister bought me for Christmas 10 years ago, that I don't really like and I'm not going to wear. But the thought is, well, it was a gift. Somebody was thinking of me. I don't want to get rid of this.
It's hard too, because you watch hoarders. And do you hear the things that they say, like echoed in what you're thinking?
I've always understood what they say, at least that feeling. The problem with hoarders is it gets to the point where it's garbage.
They're keeping garbage.
It's cat shit. There's a dead animal in the freezer. There are bugs. So I can empathize with the traumatic event that drove them to that point, but I'm not keeping garbage because I don't even know what the rationale with the garbage is. You can't say I'm going to use this Whopper box for something in the future. It's like you've just stopped trying when you can't access your bathroom and you have to shit in a bucket.
Yeah. Some people need to keep that paper bag. It has handles. It's a really good one because it has handles. A lot of paper bags don't have handles.
I mean, they supposedly outlawed plastic bags here in New York, but they didn't. They did, but the bodegas still hand them out constantly. And I have there's a cabinet filled with those, and the space could be used for something else. And the plastic bags, those small plastic bags used to be my trash bags when I didn't have a trash can. But I don't know. These days, one can go in the bathroom trash can. You don't need 100 of them. We have a full-size trash can. There's no real reason to keep them, but they also do feel wasteful. So part of it is maybe I can use this in the future as like a mini trash bag. And the other part is, man, I had this thing. The bodega's half a block away. I carried it for 2 minutes and now its life is over, and throwing it away seems wasteful.
No, I want to keep them, but they don't. They've done a good job at outlawing them here, which doesn't make sense because they've just switched to paper bags. And I remember when I was in my day, right? The whole thing was to like save the trees, so it's not like they switched to plastic. They said, get a reusable bag so that you're not using paper or plastic. You're reusing your bag. And then somehow that switched to, we're not even going to offer plastic bags. And then you have to pay $5 for it depends on where you are. If you want a good bag that's like a reusable bag from Target or something, it's going to be $5. If you want a paper bag, they're going to charge you 10 cents. And then if you want one of the like the grocery store reusable bags, I don't know how much those are. I have so many of those. Like I don't need
because
new ones, but
you forget to bring them with you.
Right. And so then you use paper, and then all the delivery stuff, they don't give you a chance to reuse bags because, they're not going to give you bags. They're going to give you the paper. So they're just using paper. So what are we doing? Are we saving trees? No.
Well, trees are a renewable resource. It's funny you bring that up because there was that whole movement. Paper's bad for trees. We got to cut back. Maybe because books and magazines and newspapers aren't being published in the ways they used to.
Big paper had to get their nut.
I mean, that's speculation, but
that's a good point, though.
Paper at least is biodegradable. It gets thrown in the landfill and it does disintegrate.
Yeah.
Those plastic, though, I also think were just cheaper for the stores too. So when they could get,
and I really like to use them as my little trash cans.
Yeah, you probably get less of these bags than I do.
I don't get any anymore.
Yeah.
You mean the plastic?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been reusing the ones, like instead of just grabbing the plastic bag in my little trash cans to tie them up, I've been emptying them and keeping them because I'm out.
Even when you could get plastic bags before they outlawed them where you live, I feel like you wouldn't get as many. It's the bodega. The reason I bring, I go.
Oh, right. You're right.
I buy 3 seltzers, 4 seltzers. And I think, do I really want to juggle this in my arms as I get my keys? No, give me the bag.
Yeah.
And because there were so many trips, I feel like I was collecting more than most people. But in general, I know that there were so many of these, anytime you went to the Kroger or the ShopRite, whatever it is, Food Bazaar, Seatown. I don't know.
Wiggly Wiggly.
Yeah. You come home with all those bags. Paper or plastic wasn't even a thing when I worked at Publix. It was just like I guess we did have some paper, but we didn't ask. No,
you just always use those like beige plastic bags.
Yeah, if somebody asked for paper, then we would give it to them, but it wasn't solicited. And then I would, pack up people's groceries and walk them out to their car. And we had a button on our apron that said no tipping. And I took the button off and then I got in trouble.
Damn, they were looking for the buttons?
Yeah, the managers there, that was the whole Publix thing. It's like, we don't want people to feel like they have to tip. We'll pay you more than these other stores, which maybe they did by $1 an hour or something. But not as much as you can make tipping. But also on the flip side of that, I remember going to grocery stores where, like Kroger, where the person who took out your groceries probably was expecting a tip, and they were pretty pushy. It's like, I got that. Like, no, sir, I'll get it for you. It's like, it's fine. I want to take it out alone. I don't want your service.
Yeah. I never wanted help. I got it. I'm strong. So I felt.
I just didn't want to tip.
Oh.
Well, I also don't like people doing things for me.
That's true.
So if I ever get to the point in my life where I need to be in like a nursing home, it's going to suck.
You're like, no, I'm fine. No. They're like, sir, let us help you. You cannot do this. Oh, no, I got it.
I think it's fair that that's a difficult thing for people to accept.
Sure, but when you're old, you just get mad. You're not like, oh, I'm sorry. No, I can do it. It's more like, get your arms off me.
Yeah, I don't really I can understand being angry just because being old for a lot of people probably sucks. Your body starts
Yeah.
to fail you. You lived your whole life like, hey, what the fuck?
And you
I,
never learned how to process your emotions because you're the silent generation or you're like a very old boomer. So you're just like, fuck you, fuck it.
Even if you can process anger as a fair emotion when, your hand has worked your whole life and then suddenly it's not working anymore.
Yes, but not toward the people who are trying to help you.
Sure.
That's still wrong to do.
The,
My
helping,
kids, fuck you.
yeah, helping Howard
Oh,
recently
yeah.
because he had that lung surgery and then he fell a day later and broke his leg and had to have a leg surgery. And I took him to an appointment the other day and like he is really short with people though. It's like
Really?
we get into this waiting room where there's a bunch of other people in wheelchairs because they have broken bones that have been fixed and
Okay.
we're
That's
there.
not funny. I don't know why. I just like the way you said it because they all have broken bones.
We're there 30 minutes early and he's annoyed he has to wait because the woman behind the desk said, just to let you know, the doctor is running late today.
Mm.
And then it's like, well, what's the point of an appointment? And I also said, well,
Oh.
we're here early though, too. So, you can't really get angry that they can't see you right away, especially when you're here early for the appointment. But there's been a lot of that listening in on phone calls that he's having. And I
Oh,
get the
really?
frustration with it. Like the hospital should have not, they knew that he's widowed, that he's already pretty much bedridden because of pain, and he has a surgery on his lung. And they don't, I thought hospitals had social workers and things like that to help.
Like patient advocates.
Yeah, to help get things set up for you.
And I think you have to request stuff like that.
It's
Maybe.
you're probably right, but I feel as though it's pretty fucked up to put that on the patient when the patient just went through surgery and has a lot of other
hell
shit on
yeah.
their mind.
A lot of that. Oh, please. All of this is fucked up. So much of the medical system is fucked up.
So you send someone home alone, and then they fall and break their leg.
Yeah. That is interesting. Did they know that he was going home alone?
Yeah, they got him the hell out of there. He stayed there one night and like, all right, time to get out of here. They knew.
Yeah, but did they know like you're being sent home alone?
Yeah. I mean, I was his health proxy during that because there's no one else. Very, very, yeah, just, no, we didn't think about this.
Does he have money to have care or to move somewhere where there's care?
I don't know if he would, that's the thing. Would he move where there's care? That's it's a person who's pretty, I mean, he hasn't been able to be independent in a while because of the chronic pain that he suffers, but he's still stubborn about it. But yes, there's, when his wife was a high school principal here in New York City. That's a union job. And she gets a pension and she paid extra into the pension in case she died first. So it would continue. So he has, that money coming in. I don't know how much, I don't think they're like, it's like rich, but I think it's a decent amount of money.
It's hard. It's hard when you get old.
Yeah, just looming. It's just looming and it's not even that far away now. It's like in 30 years.
I don't want it to happen like that.
You better start exercising.
I know. I think about that all the time and I still don't. Instead, I eat handfuls of Bugles. What's that doing in my body?
Who the fuck wants to exercise?
It feels really good, actually. I don't really like exercise. Like I like lifting weights. I like strength training a lot. I don't love cardio.
Yeah, cardio blows. I don't know. Strength training intimidates me. You have the people who know what they're doing, especially with free weights.
Yeah.
And if you're there meddling, they're like, oh, fuck, what the fuck are you stupid amateur? Get out of my way. I need.
I have 10-pound weights. I have 5-pound and 10-pound.
What?
Slowly making a collection. I'm going to tape the two together and make all kinds of variations. 15 pounds, 20 pounds.
I get annoyed at people who, like my friend Andrew, started going to the gym. And he's a guy who's never went to the gym. And then I don't tell him this, but secretly I'm annoyed and angry. I'm like, why?
Why?
Because it makes me feel bad that I don't do it.
Oh. Well, do you still have your gym membership that you never quit?
No, because during
Oh, during
COVID,
COVID, things went down. That's right.
yeah, that gym was shitty during COVID and it continued to charge people even though there was no access to gyms. Whereas other gyms said, we're going to stop charging for the time being. This shithole
Right.
gym, the New York Sports Club, continued to charge people until like the state attorney general or someone said, stop this shit now. Stop it.
Yeah.
We're suing you if you don't stop it. So they stopped. And then the gym, because I was only a member at one gym. At one point, I was a member where I could go to any of them across the city because I had this idea that I would go to the different gyms and try them out. And then you get to the point, it's like, why the fuck am I going to travel to different gyms? I'm going to go to the one that's close.
Yeah.
So I switched the membership to the one that was close. And in doing so, they put my first name last and my last name first. And I told them, it's like, this is a problem. This is like, that's Russ is my last name. Gregory is my first name.
Yeah.
And like, no, it doesn't matter. It's not a big deal. And then when I was trying to cancel, they're like, well, we don't have a Gregory Russ on file. And I said, I know, because it's reversed. You put my last name first and my first name last. Huh? What? And they so obtuse that they couldn't grasp what the fuck I was saying, to the point that I didn't understand if they were just completely dumb or if it was a ploy to keep me paying them. But they never figured it out. And then that gym luckily just went out of business. And because I was a member of only that gym, it just all stopped.
Oh, okay.
But what a racket that is.
It seems so crazy to, like, for them to really, for them across the board to be trained. Like, what? I don't know, huh? For something like that. It's either everyone is immaculately coached to like not to run into some sort of issue when people are trying to cancel, or people really are just sometimes that dumb, like can't figure out what's going on.
But that was the whole thing with the gyms. The gyms know that they make most of
Yeah.
their money from people who don't go to the gym, which is why you can get relatively cheap gym memberships, because all the people who don't show up subsidize the people that do.
Yeah.
I mean, $10 a month or whatever it was paying. I think I was paying 30, but you can go to the
That's pretty cheap. 30 is still really cheap.
You can go to the Crunch, the Sports Life.
Yeah. What's the other one that's purple?
There's
Is that
Blink.
Crunch?
I think Crunch is. There's LA Fitness.
Oh, I call that La Fitness.
Or Planet Fitness. But there's
Planet
also,
Fit. That's the purple one.
there's also LA Fitness, right?
Yeah. La
But there's-
Fitness.
But there's Planet Fitness.
Crunch.
The first gym membership I ever had was for Sports Life, and it was off of Barrett Parkway in Cobb County.
Okay.
And at some point, they went under, or they were bought, and it changed to Crunch. And it was just so embarrassing. It's like, what a dumb name.
Crunch is hilarious.
It's a logo like a fist.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because it's like crunching the word crunch.
Who the fuck comes up with this? Who thinks that's a
They're
good
like,
idea?
Yeah, this is what gonna make people come in because you're so tough. Urgh.
And what's the crunch in reference to? Like a sit-up?
But then why would the hand be crunching the words? It's almost like this is so badass, right? Like it should be called stomp. You know, or like
Stomp finally went under, by the way.
did it?
Yeah, they stopped. They played in an East Village theater for like decades, and then Blue Man Group finally shut down here too.
Oh, Blue Man Group.
They're still in Vegas and traveling, I guess. I was shocked that these shows went on. They were like, these weren't big theaters, but the fact they were pulling in audiences on a regular basis. The Blue Man Group.
I mean, if you think about it's just a tourist thing, right? It's like instead of seeing some heady production of like Bridges Over Madison County or something, let's go see Stomp when we're in New York.
Yeah, I could see that it provides an alternative. You want to go to a Broadway show, and then it's like tickets are $250 each. You're like, what the fuck? It's like you can go to Stomp for $30. It's like, all right, yeah.
We're gonna have a good time. Wow, that was wow, they're just making all that sound. That was amazing.
I'm looking up Crunch Fitness. I'm trying to get the background on the name. I should just type into some kind of like chat GPT. Crunch Fitness is a dumb name. Why did they name it that? It'll probably say, it is not nice to say that, since these chatbots need to take any opportunity to correct you and make you a better person.
I don't fight with my chat GPT. We're friends.
It's
just
true.
helpful.
It's true that the name Crunch is simple. I didn't say simple. I said dumb. I said Crunch Fitness is a dumb name. Why did they name it that? It's true that the name Crunch is simple, but it's tied to the gym's origins and overall philosophy. Origins in New York City. Oh my God. From the Village, 1989. That's depressing. This sounds like it came out of some Midwest, mid-level marketer's mind. Came out of New York City in 1989. Name evokes a sense of energetic, active movement, which aligns with the idea
Crunch.
of working out.
Thrust.
Crunch is a physical action. It's a common term for a core exercise. Yeah, a sit-up. It's
Yep.
short, impactful, easy to remember. The Mad Men themselves probably came up with this shit. Don Draper's follow-up to the stupid Coca-Cola commercial. I know Mad Men's coming up a lot on this show. It's just because it's like AMC launched a new channel and they're just showing it nonstop.
Oh, they did?
And I just put it on. I mean, for the time being, they probably want you to subscribe to their fucking app.
I don't understand. You have cable?
YouTube TV.
Oh, and that's kind of like cable?
Yeah, it's live TV, and it started. The whole thing was, hey, cut the cord, stop paying those outrageous prices. $40 a month, $50 a month,
Now it's
$65 a month. It's $83 a month now.
Wow. What's up, bro?
It's at the point where I'm going back to Spectrum Cable, and they have digital cable. You don't need a fucking cable box. You can get the digital cable the same way YouTube TV is, and
Okay.
it's like, hey, can you just give me that shit? But because the smart TVs and the Rokus and the Amazon Fire Sticks all have to cut deals with the different apps.
Yeah.
It's like we had Fire Stick, and Amazon does not have a deal with Spectrum, so you can't download the apps, and then you have to get a Roku. It's all fucking convoluted mess. And it's all a money grab. The disruptors come into the market always. Uber comes in. We're going to destroy the yellow cab industry. Yeah, we did it with our cheap prices. Jack it up now that we have control.
Mhm.
Fuck these people over.
Yeah. It's the shitification of things. Everything gets shitty eventually.
It's just, that's the move. Destroy the market, become the only thing in the market, then fuck people over when you have them right where you want them.
Yeah.
And that's what
It's the
YouTube
worst.
TV did. That's what Hulu TV did.
Hulu.
You can get it for $29.99 a month, and you get most of those channels that you want to watch. Cable's got so many channels that are bullshit that you don't ever watch. So don't worry about those. We'll just give you the actual channels that you watch, and it'll be so much cheaper. Yeah, that's a great idea. I love that, over paying $250 a month for, 600 channel lineup. And then it's slowly but surely inching up. Same thing with Disney Plus. What was Disney Plus at first? $5.99?
No, I think it was always like in the teens.
No, I feel like at first Disney Plus was cheap as fuck because they just wanted people to sign up.
See, I'm not sure. Was it always connected with like Hulu, and that's how you could get it cheaper? Like if you had a Hulu account, maybe. I don't remember, because I think Travis has Disney Plus and we just use his, so I don't know.
I'm trying to. It started at $6.99 a month.
Oh wow, you're right. You're right.
$6.99 coming to our ecosystem. We'll give you all the Marvel movies and Star Wars garbage.
And Harry Potter.
Do they have the rights to Harry Potter now?
Yes. Well, it's Disney, isn't it?
Harry Potter.
Oh, it's
wasn't.
Warner Brothers.
Oh yeah, get that straight. Disney bought all the Fox shit.
I'm trying to watch Intervention and I can't hardly watch it anywhere. It's pretty annoying.
What is making you want to watch Intervention?
I don't know. I was seeing clips on TikTok, and then I was trying to watch it, and it only has like seasons. This is wild, but season 22 and 23, or 23 and 24. And I had gotten rid of Netflix, and then I saw, when you Google like where can you watch a show, and it says like watch where to watch or whatever. So it was saying Netflix. And the other places I had subscriptions to said it only had the 2 seasons. So I re-signed up for Netflix, and then it only had one season, and it was a season that I already watched. It was like the season 23. I was like, God, Netflix got
It's a
me.
depressing fucking show anyway. It always
I
ends.
know.
Always ends with text on the screen. This person relapsed 2 days later. This person died. Or if they hadn't died by the time the taping was done and the show was released, if you look into their stories, they end up dying
Really?
half the time. You haven't followed up on your own?
No.
Yeah, it's
I was doing that with
for the best. Don't.
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's
That was
Kitchen.
called?
What,
No.
a cooking show?
No, but what's the one with it's Gordon Ramsay and he goes to places and he tells them that they're bad.
I think it's Kitchen Nightmares.
Kitchen Nightmares. Yeah, I always get those two confused. Yeah, on Kitchen Nightmares, there's a lot of like, oh, they're doing so much better and look how great. And they're closed.
Yeah, there was a pizza place in my neighborhood where there was
I think I watched that episode.
an Italian restaurant next door, the
Yeah.
pizza parlor next to that, but they were separate
And it was his
businesses.
parents. It was like his grandparents or something.
Yeah, there were his parents, maybe his grandparents owned it,
Something.
but his parents ran it and he took over the business and he was failing miserably, but he was so strict and, had a tight grip on things. Yeah. It's
No,
fun.
he was really he was only staying behind and like doing the pizza and he didn't do anything else. Even though like everything else was failing and he wouldn't help and he was like not looking in the freezers always.
No, yeah, that's right.
There's always that.
That was a big part of it. Like, I remember Gordon Ramsay yelling at him, "You can't be making the pizzas yourself."
Yeah. Go to delegate.
But I guess he didn't trust anyone. And so the Italian restaurant part shut down pretty soon after. Then the pizza place stayed open. Like, it was one point, Christina and I were walking home and we walked past it and that guy we got some pizza and it was the same guy making the
Wow.
fucking pizzas from the show. But he eventually had to close that.
Yeah. It's hard.
Same with Bar Rescue. I always,
Oh yeah, you watch Bar Rescue.
the last thing, sales are up 25%. The owners rekindled his relationship with his wife. And then you look up the bar. It's like it shut down 2 months later. He's divorced.
He's divorced.
It's always a big part of it. These inept people can't run the business and they just completely shut down and they let everything else around them rot.
Yeah. Can't do that. If you're gonna do it, if you're gonna be in a business and then be in a business with family, it's almost like opening up your marriage, right? Into like a throuple situation.
I wouldn't want to do it. I think it's difficult.
No, I wouldn't want to do it either.
Yeah, the amount of stress that comes in to running your own business, and if you're doing it together, I know the idea seems romantic on the surface. Like, yeah, it would be really cool. It's like the Ample Hills married couple, though I think they're still together, and I feel like their relationship is good because they were both scumbags. The Ample Hills story was an ice cream parlor that opened up here in New York that I thought was overrated because the chunks and the shit they would put in the ice cream was like giant. It's like, we put cookies in there. It's actually a whole cookie. It's like, I don't want a fucking whole cookie in my ice cream.
Cookie.
But all their ice cream flavors had giant pieces of stuff in there. But for whatever reason, people
Here's a candy bar just shoved into some ice cream.
Yeah, it's like Snickers ice cream, full Snickers bar. And people fucking salivated and jizzed their pants over it. Oh, Ample Hills. And, it started as a small business, one shop that gained some popularity. They opened another shop. And if you read about it, like the husband and wife owners were just very controlling and apparently not nice to people. And they knew best. And once the business grew, it's like, it's one thing to run your own single ice cream shop. And that's probably difficult enough. But once you have multiple locations, you hire other people to handle aspects of the company. And they just could not let it go. They're like, no, our way is the right way. And at some point, Bob Iger from Disney tasted it and loved it, and in passing or something said, we should bring you down to Disney and open a shop. And like, that's all the husband focused on. And he just neglected everything else at that point because he had this idea that they were going to go to Disney and open Ample Hills. And I don't know if he thought he'd be hanging out with Iger and Kevin Feige from fucking Marvel. It's like, yeah, my ice cream shop's really got me into the movie business, or who knows where it went. Just having a shop in Disney, I'm sure, is exciting to some moron like this. But it all fell apart, and the people they hired to work just like, fine, fuck you. You don't want our help, fuck you, and it all fell apart. And then some other dude came in because they had to get rid of it, or maybe the other people. I don't remember if they sold like too much of their shares. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, these people got forced out. Like some ex-Marine bought it and shut down most of the shops, kept a few open, but he also destroyed it. And that's the end of that.
How did he destroy it?
I don't know if his thing was, he was trying to really, it started showing up in grocery stores too.
Oh.
I remember. I don't know if that was his doing or the other. Maybe he tried to scale it back. I don't know. It's just difficult. It's difficult to run a business.
It's very difficult. Working for a small business, I understand how difficult it is.
It's a lot. A lot. Oh, yeah, that's right. They run it together. I'm surprised that.
Yeah.
You got to have a pretty good relationship, I guess, to keep that going.
Yeah. She recently told me how strong it is.
There would have to be.
Yeah.
Because all that stress from the business seeps in.
Yeah, it's really tough.
And you see each other all the time.
Yeah. I think that there was a time when she was pretty annoyed because she saw his face everywhere all the time. Because his face is part of like the labels on every single product that they have. She was just like, God, I'm so sick of his face.
I'd feel the same way.
Yeah. Especially if you're like burnt out,
Christina and I work at the same place.
Yeah.
Granted, we're on different teams, so we don't work as closely as we once did. But even that, working at the same place, a lot of the same happenings, and there's the same stuff to talk about with the same people. So there's not really separation. And because we can work from home, it's not the same in that there's a lot of stress because it's not our company. It's like we're just trying to keep our jobs. Now, if we both got laid off, if there was a round of layoffs, there's the chance we both get laid off at the same time.
Do you work at this like on the same projects together?
Sometimes, only because my team will do the audio mix on a video. That's the extent of it.
Oh, okay. So there's never like she's waiting on you for something and she's annoyed that it's not there and you're having to deal.
Well, she could be waiting on an audio mix to come in for a video, but I pawn her off onto Andrew, who is the post manager. I don't really pawn her off. That's just the way it's set up. I'm too high to deal with these low level things. So she deals with other people on the team. And that's fine for the most part. Like we just had a feature length documentary that dominated the video side for like over a year. And then we had to mix it in a few weeks. So there's not too much crossover. But in general, you see, you work with a person and you see a person and it's easy to say, it's like, we just spent all day together. And then you realize, but it wasn't really like quality time.
No, it's different. You have to have, that's what I'm saying. Like if you work together like that, you have to be able to communicate and talk about what's going on and then compartmentalize what's going on too. You got to be able to like leave work at work or else you're constantly working. You just have to set some boundaries. And if you're not plugged into yourself and your relationship, it's going to be tough to do that.
I just find the days fucking fly by.
Yeah.
It's like you work and then I do the radio show 3 days a week and then that's over at 7. And I say, I'm just going to go decompress for an hour, be up soon. And then like 2.5 hours goes by. It's like,
yeah.
I really meant it when I said I'd be up in an hour, but I don't know what happened. The 2 hours flew by. And it's almost time to go to sleep again.
Since I started, doing this stuff with Hoffenpepper, my days have been going really quickly. Like all of a sudden it's 2:00, I'm like racing against that 2:00 time.
Yeah, because it becomes uniform and every day is probably the same thing. Like I know the weeks you have the kids is probably extra thrown into it, but
yeah,
it becomes, I wake up, I do this, I start work, I work till this point, I get my break. The radio show starts now. Do the radio show to 7. Kids are around. Got to give them dinner. Got to hang out. Got to put them to bed. Time for me to go to sleep.
Yeah.
Do it again.
It's weird. Do it again.
Though
Do
there's
it again.
Though there's this
Everything
idea that if you are busy, that time should go by more slowly. But I honestly think working at home makes it go by faster.
Yeah, I would think so too. Because you're less bored.
Well, just the act of going to the office, whatever separation that creates, because you had the same thing when you worked in an office at a full-time job, your day was pretty much the same.
Right, but I'm saying it was boring because when you take a break, you're still at work and you're having to like make yourself as comfortable as you can at work. And you can't really do that. So you're still like working sort of. You can't just like flop on a couch, for like 20 minutes and chill and take a break or like walk outside or go run an errand or something. You're just stuck there. And so the days, I just remember being in the offices and being like, oh my God, I can't believe it's only 2:00.
That's how I felt about school growing up. I'd look at the clock and like a half an hour seemed so long. I remember I used to quantify the amounts of time with TV episodes like Inspector Gadget or something. Like Inspector Gadget's 30 minutes long. God damn, there's one Inspector Gadget left in the day. That feels like forever. But The Office, yes. I some of that I feel as though is when being younger, time does go by more slowly. Plus, I was going out after work quite often, staying out late, drinking, getting minimal sleep, going back into work. I think it's a combination of that, being tired, being young, having just processing time differently. Whatever it is with separation, though, leaving home, going to an office, to me at least, it feels like it causes things to go by or to take longer. And that ties into what you're saying. Like you're sitting there and you're thinking, oh my God, there's just this much time left in the day before I can leave. But outside of that part of it, I just feel like when you're in one place, you just process things differently and it kind of blurs together. And then that blurring together makes it seem like it's just going by very quickly.
Maybe. I think that there's more to do at your own house.
There's more to do, but I think that lack of separation, I wish I could better explain why. It's just something that I've sensed over the years, because I had a job where I could work remotely unless we were on a shoot or traveling before COVID. It was just the company implemented that. So I've been doing it for quite a while. And I do realize that being at home makes the time seemingly go by faster. And like some of it, like you said, it's probably because when you're at home and you take a break, then you can fill that time. And so you're just not maybe as aware of the time.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I think, but
you're not staring at a clock thinking, oh my fucking God, we've only been recording for 38 minutes. The show feels so much longer. I'm too tired. I need to decompress. I'll put this laundry away later, I promise.
Yeah, right. You should do that today.
I'll put it away.
Just do it.
I went and bought 3 new t-shirts for $100.
What?
$108.
What? Why are they so expensive?
I don't know. Why are they so expensive?
What are they of?
It's the t-shirt material.
But I mean, why are they pricey like that?
I don't know. They came from Marine Layer.
What's that?
It's this store. They have a shop in our neighborhood, but they're I think a national-ish brand. You can order their clothing online, and it became like a running joke. Anytime we walk by the store, I told Christina that she should shop there. Like she's never expressed any interest of shopping there. So anytime I see it, it's like, look, it's your favorite store, Marine Layer. You should go in, buy something. And
okay.
I don't know. I actually decided to take a look at one point. It's like, what does this place even really fucking sell? And I was looking at their t-shirts, and then I was looking at my collection of t-shirts that I got from Old Navy for like $9 a piece, and I've had for years, and they're starting to get old and wear, and I feel like I had to replace them. And for whatever reason, I said, I'm going to buy these fancier fucking t-shirts.
Oh my gosh.
It's a t-shirt that costs fucking $45, and then you buy 3 and you got 20% off, and one of them was actually only $38, but it ended up being $108. And if you buy under $110 of clothing in New York, you don't pay taxes, so I didn't have to pay tax on it. But $108 for 3 fucking t-shirts.
That's wild. Do you feel like they're really, really good?
I mean, let me look at the stitching. I'm wearing one now.
I know everybody says that. Like, what do we know about stitching?
I can say that I cannot speak to stitching. When I was in London in September, there was a show called The Great British Sewing Bee. I learned a bit more about sewing and stitching.
Ooh, a back stitch.
It was a cool show. It was like the Bake Off, except it was sewing.
It sounds like it.
I learned a bit more, but not enough to speak to it in any kind of proper manner. But I can say when you have shittily stitched and sewn clothing, they start to fall apart.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's true. I know like Old Navy stuff falls apart or like gets weird, misshapen. Their stuff is truly garbage.
Yeah, because it costs nothing.
Yeah.
When I bought t-shirts there, yeah, you get them, they're like $9, and then there'd be sales. Like get 3 for $17. I don't feel like there's an in between. I feel like things are really cheap, or then the t-shirts jump up to like $40 a piece. Is there an in between somewhere?
I mean, sometimes the jeans, like you think you can still get jeans for, at least to me, I go in there thinking I'm going to buy $20 jeans. And if they're not on sale, then they can be like $50.
At Old Navy?
Yeah.
$50.
I think. I just remember, or maybe it's less. Maybe it's like 40 something, you know?
I felt like that was the Gap price. And then the Banana Republic price would be $70.
Yeah.
And the Old Navy would be $40. I can't say for sure, but I think I guess compared to other jeans, though, if you go buy the fancier jeans, they're over $100-something a piece, right?
What's everything cost money?
This isn't what's that clothing brand? Sheen, SH?
Shein or something. I've heard most people say Shein.
Well, apparently a lot of the people on Love Is Blind a lot of the women are wearing clothing from Shein.
Oh, how do you know?
Because I was reading the subreddit and people said, I love this dress. And then you can just reverse image search things and then it pops up.
It's from Shein.
Yeah, quite often it comes from Shein.
How much are they getting paid to do that show?
I don't think they get paid anything.
They must get paid daily something.
I don't know if they get paid. You can't watch it anymore because you got rid of Netflix.
Well, I rejoined, so.
Have you been
watching?
What
I really want to do is I want to watch the way that they experience it. I want to watch episodes with like a blanket over the TV. And then when they reveal themselves to each other, that's when I want to see.
Wait, say that again?
Like I want to watch the show the way that they experience it. So like you watch the show, but you're really only listening to it because you have a blanket over the TV.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they are going to meet because they're engaged, then you can take the blanket off and then you can watch them meet. And so you're having the same experience as they are.
I thought about that before, and I thought about them presenting it that way, but then you'd just be staring at a black screen, and I don't think that would fly. So you would have to, yes, make the choice on your own to just cover up the screen. But it would be interesting.
I agree. I think it'd be really fun.
I think the problem is also they get paid apparently $1,000 a week. So not a lot.
Oh, that's not very much.
But there's like a stipend.
$1,000 a week? Actually,
when you're
I guess if it's after taxes, then it's more than I make.
That's sad. No. You only make $1,000 a week?
I don't know. How much do I make? Yes.
Oh, boy.
16 something after taxes.
And that's for both jobs?
No. It's for
the radio.
Ooh, yeah.
So
it's pretty sad.
The problem, I think watching it that way would be interesting. I don't know if you watch some of the foreign language ones, like the German one, or
No, I haven't.
the other ones like blow through the pod scenes, and none of those like deep conversations are shown. And so it's just like these people are like, we love each other, and then they meet. And you're like, none of that was earned.
Oh,
This feels very
like maybe
weird.
it was earned, but we didn't see it.
Yeah, the way they edited it.
Huh.
And then the US one, this season 8, they did like a long time in the fucking pods.
Yeah.
It's always just dudes saying, I've never expressed myself before, but now I am. And that's
I know.
love.
They all have some trauma that they've never talked about. And then this is like some pseudo therapy, because therapy really is just talking to yourself. And that's what they're doing, because they just have like this forced ear to talk to. And then the women see it as vulnerability, when really these guys are just finally talking about something. Like that one guy who kept talking about his sisters being dead. It's like, God, jeez.
Yeah, there's
You really remind me of my sisters. Did I tell you my sisters died?
Okay. There's more trauma in this one.
Is there?
Yeah, this season. Some people are saying this is one of the most boring seasons ever. I don't know.
Joe was saying that I think he's watching the new season. I don't know if he's watching the new one or not.
Without
he's
you.
watching. Yeah. we're kind of watching alone together, which is kind of fun.
Go ahead.
But he was watching it and he was like, he wasn't really finding a lot of drama. He was like, oh, these people, they make sense, or they don't make sense, or they're being honest. And then the thing comes up, the thing that they talked about, the thing that they were honest about, it comes up and they notice it and they say, we're not good together. And then that's it.
Yeah, I think they made better decisions early on. So some choices were made that you're not used to, where things just didn't progress. You're like, oh, wow, really? You're not going to go forward, even though this is a terrible fucking idea, and then we get to see it all fall apart?
Right. That's the norm. That's like what normally happens.
No, there were better choices made this time. But that's the problem with reality TV shows. If the way they put this fucking show on a pedestal, where you need to respect the experiment.
Oh, the experiment. I love when they were talking about stuff like that.
And if you go against it,
I'm here because I believe in this experiment.
Yeah, it's completely unethical and you're a garbage person if you don't take this seriously. Meanwhile, the editors just edit the fuck out of it and put you in situations to drum up drama. So you're here thinking of the sanctity of fucking Love Is Blind. And meanwhile, like, we don't give a shit. We're manipulating you to get good, entertaining content, you morons. But the fact people buy into it, like there was the scandal this season, which wasn't really a scandal, but I guess you haven't watched it yet. This one couple paired up, and then afterwards she was thinking, he looks really familiar. And they connected all these things in the pods. Like they both love Christmas and Taco Bell. It's like, oh, wow, these out there wild things. These out there wild things that people wouldn't actually, like. You're the only two in the whole fucking world.
You drink water on a hot day? Whoa, me too.
But they were leaning into that, and it's cool to connect. I don't want to take that away. It's like, oh yeah, we like these same things. That's cool. But then after they met, she said, he looks really familiar. I can't really place it. And she was convinced that he followed her on Instagram before. And on her Instagram, she talks about how she likes Taco Bell and how family is important. There's another thing. Family's important to me. It's like, okay, yes, you're so unique that to find a person who agrees with it, it's fate. It's written in the stars. So she was convinced that he followed her and gleaned all this information and then knew when they connected in the pods what she looked like already and manipulated her with the information. But then she had some weird fucking app where apparently you can track your Instagram and see who's unfollowed you. Like it tracks every movement. It's a third party app. And she went through it and it turns out he didn't follow her. So she let it go and said, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But it was all based in this idea, not to say that it wouldn't be pretty manipulative and scheming of a dude to go that far to prep and pick one woman that he wanted to win over. So he said all the right things. Like, yeah, that's fucked in its own right. But he seemed genuine. And during that though. It's like, oh, this the experiment.
Yeah.
You've put the experiment at risk and destroyed what it stood for.
Yeah, what is this? We're not scientists.
But yes, they have applied like the scientific method and the importance of it to the show.
Guys, I respect this experiment. So I actually gouged my eyes out so I would never see the person.
Fucking insane. It is insane. Well, you should catch up.
I guess I should. I'm watching Alone. I'm trying to watch Intervention. I can't.
Yeah, start the Love is Blind marathon tonight.
Yeah, maybe I will. I got to frost a cake with the kids.
Once they go to sleep, watch Love is Blind.
Do you fall asleep to Love is Blind?
No, I fall asleep to either Sex in the City when that's on E. Like this is when YouTube TV this is what we're paying for, to just put something on to fall asleep to.
Uh-huh.
It's that or Law and Order SVU, or since Mad Men's been on that, or what else is there? I feel like there's one other show that I can't think of right now. But yeah, it's like, all right, put on that show I don't really care about to fall asleep to.
Oh, what Sex in the City has gotten very strange, like as it's aged.
How so?
Well, I think early on when I was watching it, I was watching it because the women, like, okay, really Carrie more than anybody else. Carrie was sort of grounded by the people around her being a little bit more normal. I don't know. And then you kind of forgive her for her insanity because you've been with her for so long. You just know her. But going back and like thinking about the episodes or watching clips and stuff of the stuff that she did and the stuff that she accepted from people, the behavior and stuff, it's really weird. It's really weird. It's like because we're able to go back and watch clips or watch single episodes instead of it being a continued series and having the space in between in between the episodes. Like
Mhm.
we didn't used to be able to binge watch, and even if we did, we had them on DVDs. All of her behavior just seems so unhinged.
There is a lot of it, and it influenced a lot of women.
Yeah, I want to move to New York and I want to live like Carrie Bradshaw.
I want to be Carrie.
Yeah, I'm going to live my Carrie Bradshaw life in New York City.
And because it's still prevalent and it's still there, I don't know how much of an influence. Like people like to watch it for the first time and say, it's so problematic. But I don't know. I think they secretly love it.
Is it problematic?
There's a lot of people would say it was problematic.
Why?
Because times have changed. Yeah.
But there's no problem. There's no problem. What's the problem?
The problem is when Samantha moved to the meatpacking district and referred to the trans.
The prostitutes as trannies or something.
Yeah, that was an issue, and just in general, the relationships were toxic, and they kind
of were. Carrie was a bad person.
They all still ultimately it revolved around men, even though it was supposed to be empowered women. And that's a whole other discussion. I got to get back to a writers' meeting. This is a new thing, and I don't know how it's going to develop. But that Fireside Mystery Theater show that I do, I was talking to like one of the people who's been doing a lot of the writing for years, and I was just ranting about things, and she's like, "You should help us write." I was just ranting about something. I wasn't even thinking about it. So I've been invited to the.
She stopped listening and she was like, "This guy has a lot to say."
So
let's get him focused onto something that will be more beneficial to all of us.
So they had a meeting that started at 2:00. It's virtual. Like it's just throwing around ideas for the next show, which is in April, and it's going to revolve around like. I forget the name of the show. It's like Airbnbs and stuff and weird experiences that can pop up in those situations. I know that's not a good job of selling it, but anyway, that started at 2, and then I went away. No, I told them I'd be back at 4, so it's 4.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Good for you.
So wrap it up.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. I didn't do an intro. I love you. Bye.